Benjamin Franklin Gates, you are undertaking the duty of the family Gates to find the most spectacular treasure in history.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Boom! Shakalaka turner! You're out, LaFleur! Ejectocito, cuz! It worked! I love this part! Please! Come on!
Goodbye, Benny.
Welcome back, you guys. Thank you very much for joining us with yours truly, Swadik Mayanja and Mumburi Makaya, and this is the Millennial Classics. And on this podcast, we talk about the best and most memorable movies, music, and culture-changing events from our generation. Mumburi Makaya, how you doing this fine morning?
I'm doing good.
So why don't you tell the folks, Mumburi? This is a big day. The holidays are around the corner. Talk to me, Mumburi. What is a classic and why is it a classic?
Well, in true July 4th American spirit, we're doing National Treasure, the OG.
The OG, Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. This is our Independence Day. This is honestly one of the greatest. Just sit down and catch a movie and just relax and just ride it out. Movie of all time. And we're doing it. We're getting in there.
Mumburi, I'm going to pull some more. I know it's bright and early 10 a.m. in the morning for those who are listening and don't understand. This is early for us. But Mumburi, it just can't be just because it's the 4th of July. Give me a real reason. Why is the National Treasure a millennial classic? Give me a reason, Burry. Give me a reason.
All right. If you really want me to do this, I think Nick Cage here is honestly, this might be one of the greatest works an actor's done. This is like Dennis Rodman in 98.
You're insane. You're insane.
This is his last big thing. And I'm here for it.
I love it. So I'm not going to disagree with you with this being his last big thing, okay? When we talk about the cast and where people are now, I'm excited to talk about what Nicolas Cage is up to today. But why I agree to doing National Treasure and why I think this movie is special is because this movie has a special place in my heart, right? I'm an immigrant. I moved to America when I was 6 years old, right? So everything in America was new to me. When I went to school, all of that stuff, the American history, all of that stuff was new to me. When this movie dropped in November of 2004, this was the first time I was like, I kind of am excited for American history. I am kind of proud to be living and learning about American history. National Treasure changed my perspective on history. And when we were growing up, after watching National Treasure, I was like, history, knowing your roots is important. And this movie is all about the founding fathers. It gives you hints. It talks about all of these cool, badass shit, fun facts about how America is America today. And that's why I think National Treasure is a goddamn millennial classic. It shines a light on the good things. Right now in 2020, everyone is mad and protesting and thinking America is the worst place in the history of the world, and we try to make it a better place. But this movie just says America is great and there's gold at the end of the goddamn rainbow. It's a millennial classic. It's a goddamn millennial classic.
Did you see this movie in theaters?
No.
Because neither did I, and I'm pretty sure the movie I saw instead was the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Oh, Jesus, Lord mercy. If you could go back in time, would you change your decision? Or did you like it at the time?
I remember being really hyped about the SpongeBob movie when I was a kid. It came out the same weekend. And I definitely saw this. But this is a classic DVD. You got this in the DVD.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, when you're sitting down on the couch, and I haven't done this in a long time, so I know when people say things like this, it's crazy. But if this movie was just on the television, if you went over to a friend's house, and you
it's on TNT,
and it's just on the TV, and this is something that everyone else is watching, you have no complaints. Zero complaints, right? Zero complaints. There are a couple of parts of this movie where it gets a little slow, but this is one of those movies where you just sit down, it's on. Nicolas Cage is being crazy. He has this crazy crew of actors with him, actors and actresses. I love this movie. So let's jump into the time machine and let me tell you what was going on back in November of 2004. Quick history lesson here. George W. Bush was reelected as the president of the United States. Halo 2 dropped for the Xbox. Let Me Love You, a single by Mario, was the number one song on Billboard in 2005, the year after. But it's a
goddamn classic.
Goddamn classic is right. World of Warcraft, a role-playing video game, was released for the very first time. I think this is crazy. I really thought World of Warcraft was older. I didn't know that.
Is it still around? I'm pretty sure do people still? I think it's still around, bro.
I think it might be. It might be, but it's definitely not as big. After, what's the game? The shooting game. Not Final Fantasy. The shooting game where you drop out of the sky. Fortnite. Once Fortnite came, World of Warcraft was gone, bro. World of Warcraft was gone after Fortnite, bro. But before I pass the mic off to Mumbury, the movies that were out during this time, the movies that National Treasure was competing with at the time, was Meet the Fockers that came out in December.
That's a great movie.
Fantastic movie. The Polar Express that came out the same month in November of 2004. And Ocean's 12 were the three biggest movies that came out when...
Damn, I think I saw Ocean's 12.
In theaters?
Yeah.
Wait, Ocean's 12 is definitely a rated R movie.
The first rated R movie I saw was... the Matrix, the second Matrix movie. And I think I was, 12? You can still go in with your parents, bro. Oh,
100%. I know you can go in with your parents. And you can also sneak in like we did a million fucking times. We did a million fucking times. But, Mumbury, take it away. Talk to me. How was this movie made? Give me some details about the director, Rotten Tomatoes, reviews, critics, Oscars. If this is an Oscar-winning movie, talk to me.
No Oscars, but I'll give you this. It was actually a hit. $100 million budget, so it's not like one of those mid-budget or small-budget movies. This is a big-budget movie. $35 million opened at number one, was number one for 3 weeks. Ended up grossing like 170 in the US about, and then like 350 worldwide. But the Rotten Tomatoes is what really surprised me. Do you want to guess what the Rotten Tomatoes was?
Look, so this is, I think, National Treasure was Nicolas Cage's peak, right? And I'm going to guess because Nicolas Cage was a big star in the late 90s. So I'm going to guess that people were super hyped and then very happy when they were walking out of the Rotten Tomatoes. So I'm going to guess like an 83%.
So it's actually about half that. It's 46, which surprised me so much because I thought critics would be like, it's like, yeah, it's a silly movie, but it's just enjoy the ride. And they were just like, this movie is so batshit crazy that it doesn't even make sense. And, but I have to say that I think that works with it being like the ability to rewatch it over and over.
Yes. Because
it doesn't make sense, but you just go with it. And it makes less and less sense the more time goes by.
Yes.
But I still love it. And I think the key thing here is Nicolas Cage carries this. And it's just the best part about it.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Nicolas Cage is runaway favorite with this. When we can't get to a favorite, what's it called? MVP. We'll talk about the details about that because I have some nitpicks about Nicolas Cage and the whole situation. But before we get there, I am very surprised about that 40%.
Yeah, I was too.
Because it had a sequel, which also did well, obviously not as well, and they were talking about a third, right? So, you wouldn't happen to have the audiences. You know how they have like audience score versus Rotten Tomatoes score? Because this movie is such a good time. It is like, I can't imagine someone sitting in the movie theater and leaving upset. A critic, I can understand saying the plot doesn't there's too many plot holes. This character didn't make sense. I get that from a critic's standpoint, but from a fan, just a movie goer standpoint, this is out of the park, knocked it out of the park. This movie is fantastic.
76% audience.
That's what I'm talking about. I said 83, 84, right? 10 points off, but like I'm telling you, exactly. I believe it. I believe it. So let's jump into the movie, Mumbari. Do you have a list of scenes set up for your favorite scene?
Yeah.
Give me the rundown. Give me the options.
So I actually realized that my list is really front loaded because I guess I enjoyed the first half of the movie way more.
No, Mulberry. Everyone enjoyed the first half of the Everyone enjoyed the first half of the movie way more, right? The gimmick gets old really quick, right? It just gets old, right?
Yeah. I mean, and by the second movie, it's dead. I have the Charlotte snow scene where they like the music's playing. Oh, the music in this is just so good. But
yes.
The ship and I have opening scene, but it's not the opening scene. No. Well, I'll talk about that opening scene later. Then the scene where he's saying we're gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. The heist. They do the heist like overview thing with Riley talking over, and they kind of describe how hard it's gonna be. Yeah, always a great scene in any movie. Mm-hmm. Really, that's classic, like Oceans. When George Clooney's talking about like, oh, we can't get into the Bellagio or some shit like that. Same deal. The
Bellagio.
The actual theft, great. Like it literally turns into a heist movie and it really picks up. Car chase, I can leave. I mean, two vans chasing each other. It might be the worst car chase of all time. That's including the Like Mike scooter scene. And then the Silence Do Good montage, right? Where they're like, this is when the FBI gets involved. FBI ransacking his place. Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, the bad guys, Sean Bean is he's solving the Silence Do Good stuff at the same time. And then they're at the dad's place talking about Silence Do Good. And the editing in that one montage looks so good. Yes. And it just keeps it moving.
Because it's a name.
Okay, I got it. When Ben Franklin was only 15 years old, he secretly wrote 14 letters to his brother's newspaper pretending to be a middle-aged widow named Silence Dogood.
These letters were written by Benjamin Franklin.
I really like that. And John Ford's face when he flips the Declaration of Independence is hilarious.
It's fantastic. He is a great, the great dad, like grumpy, this is bullshit guy in this movie. I love him in the movie. I love him. He cast it perfectly.
And then the last scene is the final treasure reveal because music plays, it zooms out, the flames go by. They do that whole like, one if by land, two if by sea, bullshit, and then
to send Ian,
they go into the treasure room that's just in Philly. If Philly had a treasure room, we would never hear that from Philly, bro.
That's a really good point because Philly is just, I'm sorry to say for those who are from Philly, but it's...
No, they know it, bro.
They know.
They hang on the cheesesteaks like...
The cheesesteak, that's their claim to goddamn fame. Look, listen, were you not at all thrilled, excited by the fact that he dove from a deck of the goddamn, like, what's it called? Like one of those.
Maybe I've just seen too many Tom Cruise.
Mission Impossible movies. But that wasn't impressive to you.
Do you think you could do that?
I think I could.
You would be scared, but you think you could like
I
do
can
it.
make the jump. The thing I couldn't do is hold my breath until someone comes and finds me.
Oh,
That's the tricky part. But
No, I might pass out when I hit the water, but I can make the jump.
who can't make the jump is the question, right? If you're in a wheelchair, you can make the jump. No. So I thought that would be one of the options. It's definitely not my favorite scene, but for a movie where it always seems like they're building the action, but the action never gets to the point where it's like real action. And that car chase scene was like the closest thing you got to real action, but it was bullshit. It was actual bullshit. Your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is the heist.
Yeah. So we're going to talk quite a bit about this Declaration of Independence heist, and I do want to start from.
It's literally the catchline of the movie. We're going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Exactly. And for those of you that have been listening and paying attention or watching our YouTube videos, and you've noticed our intro has the Declaration of Independence stealing voiceover as the first clip in our goddamn intro. And you're like, Q, you guys haven't talked about National Treasure yet. It's because this is a rerun. This is a rerun for us. But don't worry. It's special because it's 4th of July, okay? We're doing it special for you. I think anyone who watches this movie, that is the best scene. And I did cheat, Mumbury, because I know you have it split up in two, but it's the Declaration of Independence scene. It's the Declaration of Independence scene. I like to combine them together. So let's talk about from the point where he says, when he's standing there, until when they look.
I mean, they literally go to that building. They go to the Library of Congress, I think.
Yeah.
Which to just get plans to steal it. And it's like public domain for some reason.
Exactly.
And then they
But before we even get there, Mambari, that scene when they go to the office to like legit ask her, that was like a legitimately funny scene. It's they play it so well.
A treasure map?
That's where we lost the FBI.
You're treasure hunters, aren't you?
We're more like treasure protectors.
They really do there are times when they actually like show how ridiculous the plot of the movie is, and it's good. Those are the best parts.
I love the comedic timing with it, and a huge part of the comedic timing is Riley. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
The scene where Nicolas Cage is literally standing and looking at the Declaration of Independence, and he says that quote.
Of all the words written here about freedom, there's a line that's at the heart of all the others. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and provide new guards for their future security. People don't talk that way anymore.
It's a perfect, like, it gets you so hyped. He's basically saying, if you can do something, even though it's illegal, you have to do it, and you got to fight the bad guys. And it's literally in the Declaration of Independence. It's a great scene. It gets you so hyped. And then Riley's like, but we can't do it. It's impossible.
Yeah, I'd be doing that same shit too, bro.
Oh, 100%, Mulberry. And that's where the ridiculousness of this movie really starts to skyrocket. Bro, Riley takes a full half-day field trip, right? They go to get lunch, they go to the library, they check out books, right? They're having a full-on, like a full situation, the entire day dedicated to, this is the reason we cannot seal the Declaration of Independence. The only thing Benjamin says, I'm going to start calling him Ben instead of Nicolas Cage, Benjamin Franklin Gates, by the way. Insane name. Insane.
That name just...
It's ridiculousness, right? But all Ben says, after literally a full day of Riley explaining why we can't do this, is, but there's a gala. And he's like, oh, shit, you're right. There's a gala.
Bro.
There's gala.
Yeah.
But yeah, they decided they could get the gala. And the gizmos and gadgets, remember, like, who you lying to? You're right. Everybody loves that this is what we
and then the bad guys just start stacking C4 together. And you're like, what do you do with that? What do you do with that in the middle of DC?
Right? The only scene where they go over to the bad guy is literally the dude pulling out a thing of C4 and putting it on the table. He's like, we're ready.
Ben, you're doing great.
That just explains everything that they're doing. So we both have the heist as our favorite scene.
I know, but before we move on, remember, like, real talk, even though the bad guys just come with the C4, how ridiculous, how insane is Ben and Riley's plan? I mean, the amount of things that needed to go right for that to work is insane.
Yeah. No, first off, Abigail Chase, she needs to wash her hands more. In this day and age.
Talk about that Corona bird, please.
If someone gives you some shit, I don't even know, like, hours. That must have been hours, right?
Yes.
And then hours later, you're typing something and that shit just shows right back up.
Right? And bro, it's not just hours later. She's at work in her regular work clothes. She obviously gets changed in that full-on gown for the day.
She showers without washing her hands.
Without washing her hands, right? The leaps in logic you have to take to believe this heist is insane.
Man. Yeah.
It's insane. But at that dinner, at that thing, I love... Again, you're right. Nicolas Cage carries this fucking movie. I want to fight against it, but you can't. You can't. You literally can't. When he does that treason toast,
dude, there's one line where he goes like super weird Nicolas Cage, and it's like, and it's like the precursor to where his career is gonna go. Yes. It's literally like some foreshadowing where it's like, oh, this dude's gonna go off the rails.
Had we lost the war, they would have been hanged, beheaded, drawn and quartered, and my personal favorite, had their entrails cut out and burned. Yeah. So, here's to the men who did what was considered wrong in order to do what they knew was right. What they knew was right.
And it's literally like he's like spent the whole movie acting normal, and then like a piece of it just pops out when he's like, and my personal favorite, get their entrails. And then you're just like, whoa. Dude, this dude is...
What's going on? Yeah, right? So he's talking about treason. He's like, they wring their necks and burn them. And I'm like, whoa, relax, bro. People are at a dinner right now. You're looking kind of crazy. You're looking
high treason.
High treason. But that toast is beautiful. And it is a callback to the actual quote from the Declaration of Independence saying, if you got to do some bad shit if what the people in power are doing is worse. Yeah. But I love that toast. I think that toast is fantastic. And again, after the toast, he grabs her glass and he does some more sci-fi bullshit with the glove. Yeah. It's like you really have to be like, you know what? Not only do I think he was a Navy diveman, SEALsman, he must have been a microbiologist in his second life.
This dude is
a CSI, his third life. You have to believe a whole lot of bullshit to think this actual plan made.
And her password for the declaration room is literally like our IG password for our IG page. I mean, put some numbers in that motherfucker. Put some special characters. Put something. God,
at least capitalize one word. One.
mean, yo, I can't even set up a Gmail without it asking for a number.
Exactly. This motherfucker.
I mean, we talk a lot about the heist. I just want to stress that, like, my number 2 is the Charlotte scene, and it's almost just as good because it has everything. You mean the
first boat scene?
It has the action. It has it really sets the tone. Sean Bean and them working together. It's honestly great. Like when they're working together in that, and then when they're looking at the map at the end of the movie, you almost want to do like a buddy movie with those two.
You mean Riley and Ben, not Sean?
Sean Bean. Sean Bean.
Wait, what are you fucking talking about? You really think that's gonna work?
I think a dude that is willing to do the dirty work and an idealistic dude together would be a dope movie. But
that's dope. I think that's Training Day, right? Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, except not dirty cops.
Yeah. I hear you. No, I hear you.
But
that would be a dope movie, I guess. But
I really like their dynamic. As a bad guy, it's kind of iffy. He's pretty much a Disney bad guy. He's
a Disney bad guy. And I was about to say that just because I really did like that scene as well. But the flip from, oh my goodness, we're best buddies and I'm helping you fund this treasure hunt to I'm willing to kill you is too soon.
No, first off, every treasure movie does this where the bad guy or the guy fronting the bill is always like, wait, I thought we were just going to solve the treasure on the first hit. And the guy's like, nah. And then they're like, all right, dude, I have to kill you. That's what always happens in all these treasure movies.
Every single time, 100%. And the crazy thing is, it's like throughout the entire movie, Sean Bean never gets the clue, but he always figures it out just by Googling it.
Or a bus goes by. And
exactly.
Like, oh, that's it.
Oh, that's the answer? Like, are you guys being serious? Like, they literally stole the Declaration of Independence and you figured it out just by going online?
Yeah.
Worst scene?
Fast.
Oh, no. We got to talk about worst scene. Worst scene first.
So this is kind of tough.
You tell me.
Because I had either the intro with the kid.
Shitty intro.
The thing with this is, it's like, I feel like this is like a Disney trope where it's like a flashback with the person as a kid. It might not be Disney. It might just be a general trope where it's like a flashback with the kid to start the movie. And then it kind of informs who the person is later.
Yes.
I'm just not a fan. Just not a fan. I mean, and Christopher Plummer does like the whole Knights Templar history, but this shit isn't the Da Vinci Code. This shit isn't like no one cares. It's like a family-friendly movie. I don't care. But
stop. Wait, Murray, stop. Wait. At the end of the movie, what is it? Like $6 billion? $8 billion? Wait, what did he say?
I think he said $10 billion.
$10 billion. So someone cares, okay?
No, I'm saying like the audience doesn't really care.
Oh, yeah.
They don't really know what this treasure is.
Yeah.
You could have just said there's a pile of cash at the end of the road. And everyone would have been like, word, we get it.
Exactly.
So it's either that or this. I mean, sounds like I'm shitting on Philly, but
it sounds like you are. Or maybe you actually are.
The whole Liberty Bell bullshit.
Yeah.
And the shadow. That's just that's like they get to Philly and they're like, all right, we need to have a clue here. What are we gonna do? Exactly. Oh, we'll do the shadow of the sun because what is going on there? It has to land in a brick.
It's the worst. Like, don't these buildings get restored?
Renovated all the time.
Exactly. The brick was by far my worst scene, right? Because the intro scene, for you to say that the intro is the worst, it actually has to be bad. It wasn't horrible. No. It was just,
it's just the
you
part
don't give a shit. Exactly. You'd rather skip it. But the Philly scene with the brick and like getting the glasses, that was actually bad. It was actually it was like, can we just skip this because it just...
And this dude just if I go to get glasses at Lens Crafters, first off, I got to try 15 different pairs to fit my face. This dude just snags a pair behind bricks that are from 1800s when people are like 5'2", and that shit just fits his face perfectly.
It makes no sense. It fits perfectly.
To everyone who tries it on, it fits.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that note, too. Because it literally is a shape-shifting glasses made in 1800 with the color shades,
Ben
right?
Franklin, bro.
It was like, you remember when 3D first started, it would be red and blue?
With the paper glasses?
With the paper shit glasses.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I think. Get them shits in your
cereal box.
But I think the Philly scene is definitely the last clue. The glasses clue was definitely the worst scene. But talking about the intro, I know I mentioned this last time, but I have to tell you again, Maburi, the fact that in that carriage ride over, he wanted to give the note over to fucking the president of the United States of America and the bellboy. Instead of saying, you know what, give it to the Secretary of State, give it to someone who's going to give it to the president. No, you keep it. The bellboy, you keep the message I meant to give to the fucking president. Yeah. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. Zero sense.
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense. But yeah, so that's the worst scene. Let's talk about the cast, okay? The cast. MVP. Can we even argue? Is there a question?
No, there's no argument here. It's Nicolas Cage. This is post-peak Nicolas Cage.
Post-peak.
Post-peak. Because this is, I mean...
So what do you think his
Nicolas
peak is? Con Air?
He was the biggest action star in the world for about 3-4 years. And he did The Rock, Con Air, Face Off.
Yep.
Even Gone in 60 Seconds is a classic.
Gone in 60 Seconds, I don't know about classic, but it's a great
movie. A mad good movie.
It's a fantastic movie. But the thing is, so the movies that I can remember not from start to finish, but I can remember the actual movie is just Con Air and National Treasure. I know that's weird to say.
The Rock with Alcatraz and Sean Connery.
I can't remember that movie, but are there any signs of weirdness in the other? Because I feel like Con Air, he was legit an action star, and you didn't see any of this.
Con Air, his southern accent was so bad. It was like...
What would my daughter think of me if I left you like this to get dishonored and die?
He was writing to his girl, and he was like, oh my God, I'm not even going to try it because it's so bad. It was like Forrest Gump in Louisiana.
I'll add some bullshit clips in because I believe you. Nicolas Cage doesn't sound like he could do it. Bro, he can't do a fucking accent. But no, look, listen, I know Nicolas Cage is, right? I wrote down on this and then underscore with an asterisk next to this, Justin Bartha.
Justin Bartha.
Justin Bartha, who plays Riley Poole, who's the geeky nerd that's with Benjamin Ben the entire time. I think he does such a good job because
I said he was really funny in this.
He's really funny. Number one, he sets the screens.
He's a good guy. He's like a utility player.
Exactly. He's a utility player, and he's the audience in the movie. Like he's thinking what we're thinking all the time. And by the way, as him thinking what the audience is thinking, I really did get sick and tired of Ben in the movie cutting people off and finishing their sentences. We get it. You smart. You know your history. But stop being a dick. Stop being a fucking dick. Like, just let the person finish.
I'm not going to let you finish right now. This is so the thing is, I wrote, this is no one's peak. This movie is no one's peak.
What do you mean? You don't think it's Justin's peak?
No, I think Hangover. I think he's Doug from Hangover for the rest of time. I really do.
Oh yeah, no. Wait. Time out. Is Hangover is definitely a bigger movie than National Treasure. Yeah. Right? Oh yeah, no. So then Hangover is his peak. Yeah, you're right. But this is as close to his peak. Like, you know how it's a valley, right? So this is like the tips of each, it's like, it was National Treasure, shit, and then the Hangover.
All right.
So, but I had Justin as the peak because this is no one else's peak. You're right.
Sean Bean's great. And, it's like a great Disney bad guy because, I mean, like, even
you think so?
He can't kill anyone. So he can't be like menacing. So I think it's a tough place to be because, like, even when she's in the truck with him, he's not like, go over there, grab that shit and toss her out the door. He's like, oh, what do you have here?
I know.
And like, once you just hand that over, and it's like, what are you talking about, bro? You just tasered 3 people to get it. What are you not going to taser one more?
Wait, before that, in that scene, if you are Ben and Riley, if you know that Abigail has the fake copy,
do you
stop? Do you?
it only puts her in more danger because now they think that she has a real one. Because
exactly. I was saying the same thing. If they just drove off, they would have taken the thing forcefully. Obviously, she might get pushed to the ground, and then they would have found out that it was fake. I feel like that entire car chase it's nonsensical, and it's just shit. It's just
and also she was drawing so much attention to herself, trying to solve a mystery.
Security.
It's a real Karen move over there because I mean, what are you doing? If there's a heist, I have no stake. Take the Declaration, give it back, do whatever. But I'm not gonna be no hero trying to stop a heist.
If someone's willing to steal the Declaration of Independence, I don't think they'd be afraid to just put a bullet right in between your eyes, okay? So start screaming in the middle of the street. White women are fucking wild. Karen, you're right. That's a fantastic Karen moment. With all that being said, you
Dan
just
Kruger.
said... Go ahead.
Oh, no, keep going.
You just said that Sean Bean is a good... bad actor. I don't want to spoil.
No, good bad guy.
I mean, good bad guy, but I don't want to spoil my LVP. But I have Sean Bean as my LVP. He's my LVP.
No, I just think it's a hard place to be. He can't. He's menacing. He does stuff that's bad guy-ish. Like if anyone comes out of here besides me, well, use your imagination.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Like he does that stuff, but that's as far as you can go in a Disney movie. You can't be like, he has to leave him down there because obviously you can't just shoot him. He has to like do all this stuff because it's a family movie. But I think he's like, it's fine. I mean, he goes to jail. He's resourceful. He always shows up. The whole thing about him just always just showing up through Google or Yahoo or whatever they use is kind of iffy. But I think he has the hardest job of being like a bad guy.
See, now you have me second guessing my LVP. Wait,
I said no obvious LVP.
Oh, okay. So good. Thank God you said that. Now I feel good about saying that Sean is the actual LVP. And let me give my reason for picking him as the LVP, okay? Just because after you talking about the fact that it has to be a family movie, is it PG or PG-13? Do you know?
It is, I believe it's PG-13. Yeah, I think PG-13. The only thing that's PG now is like animation movies. Okay, word.
So now I'm going to give him even less credit. But he's just so monotone. There is no, especially from the beginning when he switches from, we're buddy, and now I'm going to kill you in the boat in the fucking snow. Like, is no one back at the base going to ask where the fuck is the historian that you drove off with in the middle of Antarctica? Like, yeah. So there's just a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense when it comes to Sean Bean, especially when he just uses Google when other people need to actually steal the actual fucking Declaration of Independence. But even with all that being said, I feel like he's not putting enough muster into it. Do you remember?
You be like more like flamboyant and
exactly.
Obvious.
When we were talking about what's his name, Chris Waltz in The Rundown. No, that wasn't
Christopher Walken.
Watkins in the Rundown.
You think you should be more cartoony?
Yeah, if you're going to be a Disney cartoony bad guy, be a Disney cartoony bad guy, like that fucking creep in Like Mike, right? The foster parent. Be crazy, right? Like if you're gonna be crazy, be crazy, and if you're not gonna be
that
crazy,
could be a good angle though. If he was the only guy who would listen because he's also crazy.
Exactly. But
I can see it. So I can see him being LVP.
That's why I have him as my LVP. And if it wasn't him, it was going to be Abigail. But I think she did a good enough.
Yeah, that's a tough role because there's almost no reason for her to be there. Actually, there is no reason for her to be there. There's
no reason. As soon as they steal the Declaration of Independence, that's where she's supposed to end. There just needs to be a love interest, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
2020 rallies the love interest, bro. But I have to do because we kind of skipped over MVP. I have a little bit more to talk about Nick Cage because we keep on.
Yes. I was talking about fucking Justin. Yeah, go ahead. Talk about Nick Cage. Let's go back and talk about Nick Cage.
I talked about him being Dennis Rodman earlier. And I think that's a really good comparison because this dude
Murray patting himself in the back. Is anyone surprised? Is anyone surprised?
Because everyone thinks Dennis Rodman's a weird dude, and he might be, and he actually is. But if you look at like the movies and the teams that harness Dennis Rodman's strengths, and this is one of those. That's why I said the Bulls in '98, because it's one of the last times that Nick Cage is harnessed in the right way. There's literally something about this where it can only be him. There's a scene, it's in the Charlotte one, where he undoes the scroll, and this is honestly like it's a masterclass. This shit is like he undoes
Wait, slow down. This is at the Charlotte scene. Okay,
at the Charlotte scene, he undoes the scroll.
Okay,
and he starts talking to himself. He like removes his gloves, talks to himself, and it's like he's saying wild shit, and the music's playing, and the camera's zooming in just a little bit. And it's the most interesting part of the movie. Like, I know there's bombs going off, and I know they're spending like millions of dollars with chase scenes and stuff, but it's like, it makes no sense, but it's like, that's the magic of the movie. Those scenes where he just carries it. And it's like, I mean, he says this thing like, the iron does not describe the pen. It describes what was penned. And it's like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Like, listen.
It's still like, that keeps the movie going. And it's like, he's the Dennis Rodman. He is.
The iron does not describe the ink in the pen. It describes what was penned. It was iron. It was firm. It was mineral. No. It was firm. It was adamant. It was resolved. Mr. Matlack can't offend. Timothy Matlack was the official scribe of the Continental Congress. Calligrapher, not writer, and to make sure he could not offend the map, it was put on the back of a resolution that he transcribed, a resolution that 55 men signed. The Declaration of Independence.
It's a perfect comparison. You're right, Mumbury. You're right, okay? So when you look at Dennis Rodman, you say, yeah, he has the talent to be a professional athlete, but he doesn't have the mindset or the work ethic to be a professional athlete. You can't be a professional athlete and go to Vegas in the middle of a finals, right? It's just not something you are allowed to do, except if you're Dennis Rodman. You look at Nicolas Cage and you're like, I guess he can act, but can he really? And that scene, you're right, that scene is when you're like, only, not any actor or actress could do it. Only a crazy psycho like Nicolas Cage can do a scene where he's talking about the description of pens and metals. So yes, I think it is a perfect comparison. Good for you. I had no idea where you were going, but I'm on the choo-choo train of Dennis Rodman and Nicolas Cage being compared. If he's your MVP, and he should be your MVP, of course. I mean, it doesn't make, yes, he carries this movie, and not only this movie, he carries this entire National Treasure thing into the second.
And I said, I mean, the closest comparison is probably Da Vinci Code. It's like the R-rated version of this. And Tom Hanks, like, better actor, but doesn't do it as well. Doesn't do that, like, Clue thing as well as Nick Cage does.
No.
But, so those are almost all the characters, except I have Harvey Keitel as the friendly FBI agent.
Yeah.
Not a great character, because he's just, I mean, I guess it's like the Disney, like the family-friendly FBI agent, but he's just like, somebody's got to go to jail.
Right?
What is this dude? This dude, I would take this dude off the case immediately.
Immediately, bro. Immediately. Look, I love it. No, but up until like the end where he like turns his fucking ring, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, just kill me, bro. Like at the end of the movie when he's like, I'm part of the, what is that clan called? I'm part of the
Masons or the
Masons, yeah, the Knights or whatever. I'm like, this, you're killing me. You're fucking killing me. But in the beginning where after they seal the Declaration of Independence, and he looks at that dude talking, and he's like, "This ain't the time for ums." When he's like, "What happened?" And then the dude was like, "Yeah, we had a call that told us a hint that said that it was going to get called that the Declaration of Independence was going to get stolen." I think he was fantastic in that scene because he was just mean enough, and he was like, "Oh, do you think now is a good time to listen?" And I'm like, "Word. Right?" But at the end, when he's like he's basically like Ben's partner in this entire thing, and he's like, "I'm happy you did it. You're not going to jail. You win." And he brings
Ben's like
Ben
making demands at the end. I was like, "What is this?
What is going on?" He brings Ben to watch Sean get.
He's like, I want the praise for the heist to go to me, the Gates family. And I'm like, who are you demanding this shit to? You shouldn't be in the back of a squad car. Right. What are you talking about?
You stole the Declaration of Independence.
They could cut that scene and call it white privilege. And I'm like, all right, word.
Here's what I want. Dr. Chase gets off completely clean. Not even a little posted on her service record.
Okay.
I want the credit for the fine to go to the entire Gates family with the assistance of Mr. Riley Poole.
What about you?
I'd really love not to go to prison. I can't even begin to describe how much I would love not to go to prison.
Someone's got to go to prison, man.
Because that shit is like, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, the dude just got caught. He hands over the Declaration. And he's like, first off, she's not going to jail. And I'm like, what are you talking about, girl?
Maburi, I love you. I love you, Maburi. Yes.
Is this how love?
White privilege. I mean, if this is how you can talk to the cops after doing, not a felony, this is legitimate.
No, this
treason.
is like,
this is treason.
Multiple felonies.
It's insane. And he's giving demands. But at the same time, you know, money rules the world, bro. If you find something worth $10 billion, I'd be making fucking demands too. All right. I'd be making some real goddamn demands.
So I said this is no one's peak, but actually the director, John Turteltaub,
okay, this
is probably his peak because he did National Treasure. This is the only, I've wanted a movie that might be his peak. So you tell me, but it's either he did National Treasure, the sequel. He did The Meg, the shark movie, and then this is the movie. He did Cool Runnings too.
Ooh.
So you have to pick if Cool Runnings is his peak or National Treasure. I think it's National Treasure because he obviously was like given $100 million to make a movie and then given another sequel. So this might be his peak.
No. This is definitely his peak. Did you watch Meg?
I watched The Meg. I watched it twice. It's a funny movie.
It's really funny. And like, I think it's underrated because it's super funny. And it is one of them crazy. It's not like as intense as Jaws, but like it's intense enough where it keeps you watching, right? But that's definitely not the movie. Cool Runnings has a special place in my heart. We have to do it some point in Millennial Classics. Yeah. Cool Runnings definitely has a special place in my heart, but big picture, 100% National Treasure. Especially, he also directed the sequel
of National Treasure. Yeah.
So then, this is his peak. It's not even a question. This is his peak. This is
definitely. So then I just have a couple of things to like nitpick, talk about real quick, and then we can do the recasting.
Perfect.
So first things first is so we talked about the shadow clue was mad whack. First off, there were no ebooks scans of the Silence Do Good stuff. I mean, what are we talking about here? This is like Ben Franklin's shit. No copies. No one has anything. You have to, and then
100%, with the kid going back and forth and the writing it down and the seeing it on the school bus and it's like please, just someone open up a computer. I know this is a scavenger hunt, a treasure hunt, but please.
Which leads directly into the next clue, next point, because I said this movie gets more unbelievable the later on it goes, and that's just because with a phone, with Alexa, you could literally solve half these clues and figure this shit out. And I mean, it's impressive that he does it in the hold of a ship in the middle of the North Atlantic, but yeah, this movie just seems insane.
Listen, please give him a little bit of credit, all right? To their credit, Alexa didn't come out in 2004.
I know, but Google was out in 2004.
So a couple of clicks. I mean,
they use Google. They use Google in this movie.
They do. They do.
The good guys use Google. The bad guys use Yahoo.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I think, see, that's the thing with this movie, because it's right on that cusp, right? It's live action. It's not animated, right? It's PG-13. It has legitimate actors in it, and it's right at that edge. But then they want you to believe all the bullshit. Right? Yeah. It's at that edge where you want to take it like a legitimate movie where you can you pay attention, but if you pay attention, you start hating the movie. The director said the less you pay attention to the movie, the better, because the clues, and it's just, you're right. Open a computer, a laptop, a Google, whatever. They go to a computer cafe in the movie at some point. I can't believe that. Yeah, they hide out there. But
the computer cafe.
Whatever it is, if they just did that once, a lot of this bullshit would have been we got the answer.
Yeah, and then I have two favorite quotes that it's not even big quotes, it's just like throwaway lines that I just laughed at when all the bad guys have all the hostages. So now they have John Voight, they have Bartha and Diane Kruger, and they get a clue. And then Sean Bean's like, Parkington Lane, why would they lead us here and then lead us to another location? And then fucking John Voight, the dad, just from the top rope, just goes, just another clue.
More clues.
And I was like, dude, this is a man that doesn't like to lose any arguments and will hold on to that shit for life, because that shit was hilarious.
Bro, I love, yes, 100%, because he says just another clue in the intro. Literally 80 minutes prior.
This dude has been festering for 30 years, bro.
30 seconds into the movie, he says, just another clue, and he's back at it right before the treasure reveal. That's a great pickup. There are a couple of lines like that I chuckled at and laughed at. I really, really like that scene where Riley was like, "Oh my goodness, you guys don't know the answer." And this
that's a good scene too. I
really like that scene where Riley gets his, the daylight savings thing, where he figures out that daylight savings thing.
The one scene, we keep on going back to the Charlotte scene, but at the end of the Charlotte scene, that shit just made me laugh. Everything's blown up. The bad guys have left him for dead in the north of the Arctic Circle. Right? On some Bear Grylls shit. And then Nicolas Cage just casually just looks around and goes, there's an Inuit village 9 miles east of here. And I'm like, what? How do you just drop that? 9 miles? You have to walk 9 miles in the Arctic Circle. They're just mad. I'd watch that movie. Right? Nick Cage going crazy north of the Arctic Circle trying to find some Inuit village.
Look, 9 miles north of here, number one. Number two, polar bears, ice caps, glaciers.
No equipment.
Nothing.
Everything was taken.
Everything was...
That would be a great movie. Make that movie. Follow them trying to find some Inuit village.
And they just skip over. It's not never mention. Oh, it was a long trudge.
Because they were drinking their own piss for like 3 days, bro. They got lost.
Look, listen. If you look up in the Antarctic and it's white everywhere, freezing balls, you telling me you're just gonna follow north until you get to that Inuit village? Fuck you. Fuck off. Okay, you're gonna die out there, boy. The polar bears are gonna have you with their Coca-Cola on the side. Get the fuck out of here.
Remake. So you want to do? So why don't you go first and talk me through your vision?
My vision. Okay, so the thing about the remake is there's no special overarching story. It's the same exact movie, just different cast members.
So I changed the story. I went a different way. I changed the story a bit.
But Puri, it's with you. It's never a recast. It's just not a recast. It's all you always want to add.
Well,
your
no one
juices.
wants to see the same movie again. So I add some juice.
So why do we call it a recast if you don't want to see the same movie? Why don't we just
remake.
say
It's supposed to be a remake?
Okay.
I mean, sequel, whatever. Call it whatever you want.
Okay. So let me just walk you through mine. Look, first of all, I went right, I just went to the obvious, especially for Benjamin Franklin Gates, Nicolas Cage's part. You need to be quick-witted, right? You need to have a kooky side to you, right? So the two options I had was Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch. Both of those people, and I picked them both because they both did Sherlock Holmes, and they both did Sherlock Holmes.
Oh my God, that's a good,
really well, really well,
because he is like a type of Sherlock Holmes.
Exactly, it's like super nerdy. They know all these crazy facts that no one else does. It's like they spent their life doing this kind of stuff. I feel like they would do such a good job with that, and then. For the Abigail Chase, the Diane, the love interest, the Declaration of Independence lady, I have Amy Adams, and I picked Amy Adams. This might be an off-kilter pick because I loved her so much.
You'd have to make the role bigger because
she is just a bigger star, but I loved her so much in Arrival. You remember Arrival?
Yeah, great movie.
Great movie. And she was so good at just knowing that very specific not one dimension, but like that she was like a professor, like a genius at that one, like language arts,
linguistics,
linguistics. And I feel like that would be a great role for Amy Adams. I just don't know. Does Amy Adams have any comedy? Like, I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure she was in Talladega Nights.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect. Bobby.
As long as she has some juice, which there can be some comedy, because you need the comedy in this movie. You need the comedy to buttress the bullshit you have to deal with, right? And then this was the off-kilter pick. This was my off-kilter pick, okay? Just because I wanted more action, and I've been saying this entire time, I wanted more action from this movie, Lashana Lynch, after she does that new 007 movie, get some color in there, number one. Number two.
Wait, what? Who?
Lashana Lynch. She's supposed to, how people thought she was going to be the female.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And Captain Marvel, she was Captain Marvel's friend. Lashana Lynch, she's going to, like, if you've seen the new 007 trailer, she's like, welcome as the new 007. And then she walks into the screen and everyone's like, oh my goodness, it's a black lady. We got to shoot ourselves in the fucking brain because 007 is a white man. Anyways, I wanted Lashana Lynch as Abigail Chase. And if you had to partner them, I would say Robert Downey Jr. with Amy Adams and Cumberbatch with Lashana Lynch. Those would be my pairings. And then the rest of the cast, I didn't do much with. I legitimately said...
Okay, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I legitimately said for Riley's part, for the recast, just because he doesn't have that much work right now, just bring...
Are you throwing motherfuckers under the bus?
I said just bring him back because I loved him so much. I liked him so much in this role. He's not doing much right now. He obviously has the time to do it, so I think he should get his part back as Riley. But that's my recast.
All right, I liked it. I mean, I think that RDJ Benedict, that's an inspired pick. I really like that. I think I'd rather have Robert Downey, but I think he would kill it.
100%.
I kind of went a different way.
Talk to me.
So this shit's going to be like, because they are making a third one. It was confirmed from the writer of Bad Boys 3.
Oh, shit.
And they're bringing everyone old back.
Oh, the whole crew's back.
And they're also doing a younger cast for Disney Plus TV show. Now, I took that younger cast thing. I kind of, I let it gestate a little bit. And I said, let me do a younger cast for Disney Plus, but I'll do a movie. All new plot.
Wait, can I guess?
No. Wait, First off, there's no Paul Giamatti. I wanted to put him in there, but there's no Paul Giamatti.
It's not Paul Giamatti. Can I just guess? Is it set in Texas? But what?
No, this is going to be, it's going to turn out that when Noah was filling that ark full of animals, he also found a way to stash some gold in that motherfucker. So there's Noah's treasure. Okay. So it's almost like a light Christianity vibe, right?
Okay.
Jesus is King. Kanye is doing the soundtrack.
Congrats!
All right.
I'm in, bro. I'm in this.
The Nick Cage character. I also have picked two. I picked Miles Teller or Daniel Kaluuya because I figured it'd be like a young kind of professor type person, right?
Daniel Kaluuya. That's Get Out, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I flipped the Riley and Diane Kruger roles.
Ooh.
So Riley, I made Awkwafina, right? Because I wanted more comedy, but I also wanted more comedy on the Diane Kruger, like the actual whoever they have to pick up along the way. Mm-hmm. So I made that Trevor Noah.
Ooh.
Right?
Whoa.
Yeah,
Can Trevor Noah act? Have we ever seen Trevor Noah act?
All these comedians can act, bro.
Every barely, bro. Act. Barely. Barely.
Viola Davis is the FBI agent chasing him.
Who's chasing him? Who's the FBI agent?
Viola Davis.
Oh, that's such a good pick. Such a good pick for the FBI agent. That's
the bad guy is John Bernthal. He's in everything. He was Punisher in the Marvel things. He was in what's that driving movie with the singing and dancing with the Baby Driver. He was the bad guy in Baby Driver.
Oh, yes.
And then I'm doing.
I thought you were talking about what's his name, House of Cards guy. What's?
No, Kevin Spacey. Cheap, he'd be cheap.
He would be a great bad guy, though. Look, listen, he would be a fantastic bad guy for this.
And then for the John Voight character, this is going to be way more comedic. I have Danny DeVito.
Oh shit, yeah. If your bad guy is that short with a bald fucking
no, John Bernthal. No, Danny DeVito is John Voight. He's a dad.
Oh, that's awesome. No, wait, that's great. No, that's actually great. Danny DeVito is a great grumpy dad dealing with some fucking treasure hunt bullshit.
Yeah.
If you watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia, that's a great pick. That's a fantastic pick. I'm behind that trade. Danny DeVito would be a great grumpy dad. I like that. I like that a lot. And you're always switching things up, Mumbury. But I'm there. I don't know if you've went to films. I don't know what you're doing, but you need to do some sketches or some hot picks. I love it. Final statements. It's the 4th of July. Do you have any message for the millennials out there or just anyone listening that needs something to do when they're at home doing nothing with no one because COVID fucking ban is still on during this weekend coming up?
Watch this movie, enjoy yourselves. Don't have too much fun. You don't need to see the second movie unless you're really into Nick Cage. I'll just say that because as ridiculous as this movie is, that movie makes this shit look like I don't know.
Like this is like this compared to the second movie. This shit is National Geographic, okay? Mm-hmm. I mean, this is the History Channel. They're giving you the deets, right? Before you guys go, look. What other way can you celebrate the greatness of America than going on a treasure hunt in all of the greatest cities in America? You go to Boston. Yes, we will say Philly is a great city, even though Mumbury's a hater. Okay? It's a great fucking movie. You want to just laugh. It's the 4th of July. You're going to throw back a couple of beers, maybe have a hot dog and a burger. You don't want anything too serious. Just turn this on, sit back with the people you love, and just giggle. Giggle along all of the bullshit. Enjoy the heist. Listen to Nick Cage. Try to explain how he's going to steal the goddamn Declaration of Independence.
I mean, for the longest time, I would watch Independence Day on July 4th. Because it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Of course.
So if you want to do a double header, I would do Independence Day and National Treasure. Great movies. One it's about America and one's about how the world needs America. You know?
Yeah, we ended a better way. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. If you're listening to this, go comment, subscribe, leave us a rating. Exactly. Like, comment, tell me how you guys felt tell us how you guys felt about this movie, and we'll catch you guys next Monday. Deuces.